How's it going? Today we're doing a head-to-head test on roof coatings for RVs. I want to get to the bottom of it all. I've seen some wild claims at how this can boost performance, make it cooler inside your RV, make the rain quieter. So many claims that I want to get to the bottom of, and even answer the question, should you put this on your RV? Is it going to be a waste and just something that's going to peel up over time, or does it actually protect the roof of the RV? So lots of questions. Let's get to the truth. So now to start off on our test, we have 5 samples of aged RV roofing, which could be different than new RV roofing. And typically if you're going to be coating your roof, you're going to be doing it on an older RV. So that's important. We're using the most popular coatings out there, everything from what you can pick up at Home Depot to the top brands that are out there on the market. And I still have a sample from Flex Armor, which is probably the most popular spray-on coating out there for RVs. So let's go through the lineup of what we're going to be testing and what the application is like for each of these. First up is Tropi-cool. This one's a 100% silicone product, says that it stays white longer and brighter longer. It's for RVs, trailers, mobile homes, and more. Now, the next one is from Liquid Rubber, the RV roof coating. Features premium waterproofing, UV resistant, solar reflective for a cooler roof. Can be used on skylights, vents, flat roofs, gutters, awnings. This one's water-based and made in Canada. This one also required that you use a primer for this product. Next is a roof coating from Dicor, which is probably one of the most recognizable names for RV roofing. This is for EPDM rubber roof membranes and prime TPO roof membranes. And this Dicor coating has a 10-year limited warranty. Now, the next one is from Forever Coat. This is the Forever RV Coat, has a 20-year material warranty. And our last coating is from Hangs Industry, just called Roof Coat. It's a universal RV roof coating, and it says that it works on all RV roof types. It's made in the USA, UV resistant, supposed to expand and contract, be cracked and impact resistant, and supposed to be pretty easy to apply. So now let's do a quick look at the application of these because each one is different. So first up for application is Liquid Rubber. They wanted us to sand it first, and this is only one of 2 that required a primer. And this one is pretty sticky when it's going on. And something to keep in mind is you can't walk on it once you put the primer on, so they tell you to work in small sections. So once we let that primer dry, we can start on the coating of this. This one takes the longest amount of cure time in between coats as well. So I wanted to start with this one. This one has 6 to 8 hours in between recoating. And we're doing multiple coats of the Liquid Rubber. Dicor also had a primer. The primer was much, much thinner than the Liquid Rubber. And this one you can walk on after priming it, so there wasn't a concern about working in small sections. But getting to the first coat of this was able to go on much thicker than the Liquid Rubber. So each of these I'm going to go as thick as the instructions allow me to, and you can also feel it in the product of how thick you're able to go with that coating. Next up is Forever Roof Coat, which didn't have a ton of instructions, but was specific on using a paint mixer for 1 to 2 minutes to mix the product. The rest of the instructions are really simple. There's no primer. We just had to clean the roof before, and this one's able to go on really thick. And it also seems like it's a self-leveling type of a product, so it smooths itself out as you go. Next up is Hangs. This one also does not require a primer. When I opened it, it doesn't really look like a full gallon, and it doesn't go on near as thick as the Forever Roof Coating or the Dicor. We're going to put it on as thick as we can and in multiple coats. This one we had to wait 4 hours in between coats. Next up is Tropi-cool. No primer is needed on this as well. It's 2 to 6 hours in between the coats. And this one was somewhere in between the Dicor and the Hangs for being able to put it on thick. But this is the one that says you can have a lifetime warranty for 1 coat. But to keep everything equal, we'll make sure to put multiple coats on this as well. Now we get to move on to the fun part of putting these through the ringer to see how they actually perform. But I wanted to give you my winners and losers for the application process. My favorite for application was the Forever Roof Coating. It was by far the fastest and the easiest. My least favorite was the Liquid Rubber because the primer was a pain to deal with on the TPO. Not all roof types require the primer, but with what we were dealing with, the primer made it kind of a pain. So this ranking them by application is good to know, but it really doesn't mean a whole lot until we see how they perform. These tests should tell us a lot about each of these products. And I should mention that I bought all these products. None of these were sent to me, comped, or sponsored by any of these items. This is actually sponsored by RV Mattress. Because you don't have to be stuck with the mattress that came with your RV. It may not be comfortable, it may not suit your needs. Usually they're the cheapest mattress that RV manufacturers can put in there. So it might be time to upgrade to a mattress that actually fits what you want, to a better, more comfortable mattress. Because they have 4 lines of mattresses, so you could dial it into the exact price, the size, and the space, and the firmness, the softness, whatever you would like that fits into your style for what you want in a mattress for a comfortable night's sleep. Because it's not a one size fits all. They make it really easy. You can have it delivered right to your site. It comes compressed, so it's easy to move into the RV. You unroll it, take the plastic off, and see it take shape. And they take the risk out of it by having that 120-night sleep trial. It has a limited lifetime warranty, free shipping, and if you use our code AllAboutRVs, you can save 30%. So if you've been thinking about upgrading your RV mattress, click the link down in the description, check out the options, dial it into exactly what you want for a better night's sleep. So thank you to RV Mattress for sponsoring this video, making tests like this possible. So speaking of which, let's get back into the test. So this test is the temperature performance. I wanted to see what the temperature was on the surface and from underneath. So our control piece with no coating on it was at 125 degrees on the surface. The liquid rubber was at 115 degrees. The die-core was at 110 degrees. The Forever roof coat was at 107 degrees, so far the lowest. Hangs was at 113 degrees. Henry Tropi-cool was at 112 degrees, and Flex Armor was at 113 degrees. From underneath, the control was at 110 degrees, liquid rubber was not far behind at 109.7 degrees, die-core was at 104 degrees, Forever roof coat was at 102, that's the lowest so far, Hangs was at 106, Henry Tropi-cool was at 105, and Flex Armor was at 107. So looking at those results, every coating did at least give some kind of a boost to performance of rejecting the heat compared to no coating at all, and the Forever roof coat was definitely the winner across the board from underneath and on top. Every little bit helps when it's really hot outside and you're trying to keep the inside of the RV colder. That's one of the reasons why if you're going to do a coating on the top of the RV, I would always recommend going with something white, so that way it's going to reflect it rather than make your RV hotter. Now, next up, I was curious to see if any of these performed better with the sound of the rain on the inside of the RV, because that can oftentimes get pretty loud. Now, I did try a couple of different ways to try and test this, and I might have to come back to this because I couldn't find much of a difference at all, and there was a lot of flaws in my test. And it was also pretty hard to read those numbers, but it usually bounced around between 86 to 89 dB. If I had to pick a winner, it would be Flex Armor, because the peak of that sound was the base of the sound of everything else. So it probably edged all of them out just slightly, and it is a really thick material. Now I want to test the durability and how slippery they are when you're up there working on the roof, because you're still gonna have to go on the roof. So are they really slippery when they're wet? So first up, no coating. It feels very average because that's what I'm used to. But then stepping over to liquid rubber, it's barely noticeable, but slightly slicker than no coating. Stepping over to die-core, you can definitely feel that your foot is sliding a lot easier. It doesn't feel like I would slide off the roof because I have this on a slope, but you can definitely tell that it is slicker. Stepping over to Forever roof coat, it feels very similar to the die-core. You can feel that slickness in the finish. Hangs is the opposite. It is the grippiest by far out of all of these. No slide at all. Then moving over to the Henry Tropi-cool, it feels very similar to the die-core and the Forever coating. And then stepping over to Flex Armor, it's a smaller sample, but it's less slick than the die-core, but just a little more grip than that. The good news is here that none of them felt like a sheet of ice, which I thought would be really important to know if you're going to be putting on the roof of your RV and it's wet up there. How slick is that going to be? So we'll see if this correlates to the durability or the cleanability later on in the test, but I thought this would be good information to see how safe they are for going up on the roof of the RV. So let's move on to our next one. So the only reasons why you would want to do a roof coating on an RV is for longevity, durability, and less roof maintenance. If you're not getting those three things, I don't even see the point of putting it on the roof. So we're gonna test longevity and durability. But for durability, I wanna see how it is when you're up on the roof. Is it going to be easy to scratch up? Can it handle you walking on it and turning your foot? Can it handle a branch going across it? But the other thing I also wanted to test on here is I put a little circle on each of them that retains the water there. And I've been holding water in those little circles for the last 16 hours because sometimes sealants will break down if they're exposed to water for too long, which is a little strange, but definitely something you don't want happening on the roof of the RRV. So just using my finger to see if after that water sitting on there that it starts to come up, and on the liquid rubber, it starts to fall apart pretty quick and easy. I'm not using a fingernail or anything like that, just using the skin of my finger. Number 2 was Dicor, and it did great. Held up to the same pressure. Number 3, Forever Coat, again, held up fantastically. Number 4 really starts to fall apart underneath the finger and doesn't stay stuck well at all. Number 5, Henry's Tropi-cool, also passed the test, and Flex Armor, which I completely expected to pass this test as well. Now, I've had these drying out and warming up in the sun. I think it's 88, 89 degrees out here, and I want to see how it does underfoot. When you go up on the roof of an RV, you want to avoid twisting your foot on the roof, even just for the membrane aspect of it, but it does happen, and I wanted to see how these hold up to that. So first up, we have liquid rubber, and you can see that it actually got just a little bit of damage. Not a lot, but still it damaged it. Moving on to number 2, Dicor, and this one did great. No damage at all. Moving on to Forever Roof Coat. I actually did this one twice because it's grippier than the other ones. It felt like I didn't move as much, but no damage. It almost looks like it compressed it a little bit, but giving it a few minutes, it looks completely normal. Next up, we had Hangs, and that one had about the same amount of damage as the liquid rubber, which they both failed that water test as well. Next up, we have the Henry's Tropi-cool, and this one actually had a decent sized chunk come right off. Then last on our list was Flex Armor, and it did great. No problems with this at all. Now the surface of it is beat up pretty good because when we first got this sample, I put it through the ringers, sticks, hammers, dropping things on it. And so I definitely put it through more abuse than you would ever want to put your RV roof through ever. But let's see how a stick does dragging across these in case you hit one of those pulling into an RV site. So dragging the stick across, I tried to keep even pressure the entire way across, and then I ran it twice using the other end of the stick. And after blowing it off, you can really only see one scratch mark going across. So grabbing a wet rag so that it's not just dirt that we're looking at, you can see that our first one, there's actually a few places where you can see that it scratched it and peeled it up just a little bit. Number 2, it cleans up really well. You can't even hardly tell where that stick was drug across it. You can see it faintly, but no damage at all. So the Dicor has no damage. Moving over to the Forever Roof Coat, you can still see the mark that goes across it, but no puncture. Didn't peel it up in any way. It is marred across there, but still fully intact. Moving over to Hangs, cleaning it up, you can see that it's peeled it up in a couple of places. Pretty small, but still there. Next, we have the Henry's Tropi-cool, and you can definitely see a couple of areas where it peeled it off. I was actually pretty surprised. I thought it was going to do the same as the Dicor, but it definitely damaged it in a few spots. Then moving over to Flex Armor, you can still see where the stick went across even after cleaning it up, but really no difference to even that top coat. If you remember when we did the video on that, they have the polyurea that goes down first, and then they spray a top coat on top of it. And from what I heard, they actually changed the top coat spray because of the way that it reacted with the bleach when we were testing that by itself. So the 3 that passed were the Dicor, the Forever Roof Coat, and the Flex Armor. So now an important detail to be clear on, all these I can damage by trying to scrape them off, but I can even damage the membrane just using my thumbnail as well. The only one that I couldn't damage just by scraping with my thumbnail is the Flex Armor. I can get through that top layer of the UV coating that they put on there, but I definitely can't get through the rest of their spray-on coat. Now with all these tests, this is really just the first go-round of the test of how do they perform after curing for a week, but we really need to see how they do long-term. How do they do through the winter, the summer, the rain, the snow, stuff falling on them? How do they clean up after a season of sitting out in the elements? How do they do 1-2 years down the road? That's going to be the real true test. So I'm going to patch these up, and we're going to set them out, and we're going to see how they do long-term. Now, looking at these results, you can also see why Flex Armor is one that's often recommended out there, and kind of everything's measured up against Flex Armor. But looking at these DIY options, the one that I would probably put on top is the Forever Coating. It performed really well, installed easy, easy. Didn't get as much damage as the other ones. I would say Dicor is in second place behind that. But one of the things with the DIY coatings is the ability to be able to touch them up in the field. If you have flex armor, you have to take your RV to them, which can be a drawback, but we're also going to find out which ones are good for being able to do touch-ups, because certain coatings don't always accept the adhesion of multiple layers once it's cured. So we're going to find that out as well. Now, as I was touching these up, something I found really interesting was the Tropi-cool. As I was cleaning it, there was apparently a lot more damage on there, and just wiping it, you could see how much was coming off. I wanted to make sure each of these touch-ups was going on to something solid. So now I still have questions that I want answered from using these on the RV and how beneficial they really are. I want to know, are they going to help protect me from leaks on the roof? Is it going to give me a boost in performance long-term from the heat? How easy are they to clean after a couple of seasons of having them exposed to the elements? These are all things that are really important to know. How are they going to perform on the roof of the RV to be able to make a decision if you want to do this to your RV? So I hope this initial test helps you out seeing how they perform after curing for a week. And hopefully we'll get more information down the road as they sit out in the elements. So anyways, I think that's going to do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope that it helped you out in some way. So as always, if we don't see you on the road, hopefully we will see you next video. Take care.